Welcome to 2021. While it's a new year, spring is around the corner, weather's finally getting better, it pretty much reminds us all of 2020. When the pandemic hit, we were shut down. You had to find new ways to entertain yourselves. For the first time, you finally watched every single video on Netflix. And we're in a third lockdown. Well, congratulations for making it this far. While the city of Toronto and all of Ontario is shut down again, it looks very bare. However, there's been a lot of changes in other parts of the southern Ontario that are very interesting.
This month, the federal government will unveil its first budget in more than 2 years, and there's growing pressure on Ottawa to address the overheating housing market. This week, the Bank of Canada's governor said he's seen worrying signs Canadians are taking on more debt to chase rising prices. Mike LeCouture looks at some of the options the Trudeau government may be considering to cool the market.
Back in November 2019, pre-pandemic, the amount of homes for sale were low and the demand started picking up. Prices started increasing, and it was a seller's market. In March of 2020, the first wave of the pandemic hit, or we were shut down, things slowed down. But shortly after that, when people got used to it, prices skyrocketed. These are national prices all across Canada. If you look in 2020, the average home was $570,000. And in 2021, now is $665,000. This is a 14% increase nationally. Looking at broker-based statistics, the most popular booking software in the GTA for most real estate brokerages, you see that the average home prices in Toronto, Mississauga, and Milton there, Toronto 1.63, Mississauga 1.26, and Milton over $1 million, are basically unaffordable for most first-time home buyers, and really a lot of people. So how do you actually break into the market? Because if I show you these numbers, you might be a little depressed. How can my kids get a house? Maybe how can I get a house? And how can you actually get a home in the GTA? These lovely statistics are from our friends at Precondo. They're cloud agents just like us. And they are showing that there is a 2.5% gap between homes, freehold homes, and condominiums in the GTA. Traditionally, it's only been a 2 times gap. So that means with the amount of demand for homes and how unaffordable they are, the amount of interest in condos is going to start picking up. In fact, it already has started picking up. And what you'll see is that if this is correct, then, and it bounces back to only a 2 times gap difference, then that means condominiums will have to appreciate about 24% to catch up this year. This graph comes from John Vaselli from Twitter. It is an indicator of how well the market is doing by looking at the sold over asking. If we look at the graph, it shows that back in January and March 2020, a lot of condominiums were being sold over asking, over 60%. It was a really good seller's market for condos, and it's been down since. However, January, March of 2021, it is increasing substantially. So the market for condos is starting to rebound. The phenomenon of so many people moving to different cities, now being able to work remotely, they can live in smaller cities that are a lot less expensive. Alternatively, those cities have gained a lot of value because the demand for smaller cities like Niagara Falls, Hamilton, Brantford, up in like Aurelia, east, west, north, south, you name it, there's going to be a lot of cities that have increased a lot in value, which means that you as a first-time homebuyer should be looking to purchase your first investment in those cities now. If you're a first-time homebuyer or even investor looking for their first investment, I suggest purchasing a pre-construction project. There are a number of benefits towards it. Plus, I already told you the condo prices are going to go up this year, right? You're going to make money. Let's talk about all the benefits and what it actually is. Also, how much are the cheapest pre-construction units out there? First, the most realistic price for a new condo unit, even one of the smaller ones, is $400,000. Even if you see that starting up from mid 300,000s, normally the builders sell it to like their workers and their family friends first. It's only going to be like 2 to 4 units available. So focus on the next best unit after that. So $400,000 is going to be your going rate for most cities in cheaper areas to get yourself into the market. For example, this project is Trend Living by New Horizon, is at a Waterdown. Now they just sold their third building in March, and from March 2019, everyone that bought a unit there, their units have increased by $120,000. The goal of each pre-construction unit is to make $100,000. Other cities I like are Niagara Falls and surrounding cities like Welland. If you prefer the north, then Barrie and surrounding areas such as Aurelia, up and coming small cities over there. And if you like going east, cities like Bowmanville would be a great fit. They're small towns, they're going to increase in popularity, new developers are going to want to go over there. Basically in all 4 different directions. These are just samples of ones that make great investments. But hold on, Philippe, you say, I don't want to live in Bowmanville or Niagara Falls, I want to live in Mississauga. Well, if you can afford it, go ahead. But the point is to get you in the market. Now, if you subscribe to popular investment strategies like, for example, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, you need to make money through real estate. You can't afford, let's say it does go up the 20%, condos go up 20% this year. That means these $400,000 homes were going to become $500,000 homes. Can you save $100,000 in a year to make it worth your while not to buy one? After you get this unit, it might take 3 or 4 years to develop. You make some money off it. Eventually, you can live in it. You can just rent it out. But eventually, you're going to make money out of it. You're going to get equity. And then you can sell it for your next place that you do want to live in or upgrade it to something else. Before I let you go, consider this. Most builders are only going to ask for 15% down payment while you wait 3 or 4 years for that condominium to be built. That means out of $400,000, you need at least $60,000. There are some developmental fees, but you only pay for that stuff on closing. So borrow money from your friends, family, whatever, get some savings, do what you got to do to get into the market. Eventually it'll pay off, and you could use that money for something bigger, better, and to not be behind while everyone else in the real estate market is getting ahead. This will take you some time. It may take you years and years, but it'll be worth it. Even 1 year, you could fall a fair bit behind. So don't delay, get started right now.